Hey everyone, how's it going? Azren the language nerd here. It's getting dark, the lights are getting down, I'm losing my voice a little bit because I've been sitting here for frickin' like so long on this frickin' couch trying to make this video and I just can't do it. And it's so frustrating because normally I make a video, it just comes out, I get the frickin' words out of my mouth and that's it, that's all, done, post the video. But this one here, it's hard. It's a hard one for me, guys. Hard to talk about this, but I'm gonna try my best. This is the video. This one's going on YouTube. However it comes out, this is it. This whole conversation starts with my number one reason as to why I like learning languages, okay? The biggest reason I like learning languages is that learning languages allows me to communicate with people from all around the world, in different cultural backgrounds, in different countries, different regions, etc. And I'm driven by that. I'm really driven by that. And it's interesting, right? Because a lot of people would wonder things like, well, Azren, why do you care? Why do you want to talk to a Mexican? Why do you want to talk to a Chinese person? Why, what does that matter to you? Me personally, I'm just driven by it. I like it. It's cool. It's fun. It's something about it that just intrinsically drives me. However, on a bigger picture level, on a larger scale, how do I say this? How do I freaking get this out? On a bigger picture level, on a larger scale, when you don't communicate with someone, when you don't talk, when you don't understand where other people come from, it can create misunderstandings, and these misunderstandings can lead to negative emotions towards another person. Think of it this way, I'll give you the following analogy. It's like if you have a significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, whatever. Sometimes you get really mad at each other. Sometimes you get really angry with your partner for whatever reason. However, when you talk to your partner about it, when you communicate with them, often it relieves a lot of the tension. It relieves a lot of the negative feelings. One, because you shared it, you got it out, you got it off your chest. But second of all, this also happens a lot, sometimes your significant other will share their side of the story. They will share why they were acting or why something happened, and they'll share their perspective. And as soon as you hear the perspective, as soon as you understand where the other person is coming from, you're like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you were acting like that because of da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, oops, okay, now I get it. And then you don't feel as angry anymore. And what happens is sometimes with other cultures, with other ethnic groups, with people from specific countries, sometimes people harbor these negative feelings, but they don't communicate with that, but they don't communicate with the people that they don't like. They don't communicate with the people that they have these negative feelings for. They don't. They keep it to themselves. And they don't make an effort to understand. They don't. It's not like a marriage where you often will share, if it's a healthy marriage, you often will share and try and understand and try and work it out. When we feel negatively towards another person, another group, another ethnic group or whatever, we don't try and work it out. We never do. And we don't try and understand. We don't, nothing at all. We just kind of leave it there and we let it sit, we let it fester, and it's so frustrating for me. I hate it. Like, it bothers me so much because my whole thing, I don't know why, but I am driven by understanding the other person's perspective. I want to know your perspective. I want to hear where you're coming from. I want to try and understand. I want to do that. And I feel like it creates, for me personally, it creates a good relationship between me and other people, and I like that. But on a bigger scale, like, it's hard, guys. I don't want to talk about this. It's so freaking hard. This video isn't going on YouTube. I decided this take is freaking going on YouTube. It is going, no matter how it turns out. But I think it's good for you guys to see me struggle with things. But anyway, you know, it's frustrating because, like, what frustrates me is actually, it's a selfish frustration. It's like a selfish frustration. It's like, honestly, it's like, what bothers me so much is when I am with someone, I am with a person who is speaking negatively about a specific ethnic group or something, or people from a country or whatever, and I'm hearing what they're saying, and it's like, dude, you're only freaking saying that, or whatever, you're only freaking saying that because you don't understand. Like, here's a fantastic example, here's a very good example. It's like, I was in an airport, okay? I was in an airport, and I was in a lineup. And there's this Chinese, I wish I remember, that the lineup, the airport was either in China, going to the States, or it was in the States going to China. And actually, I think it was in the States going to China, if I remember correctly, okay? we're in this lineup in the airport, and there's a lady behind me who's like from the States, right? And there's another Chinese dude who's like cutting the line. He's like cutting in front of people anytime someone leaves like a very big gap between yourself and the person in front of you. He's cutting in line. And obviously it's not okay. And in America and Canada, that's not cool, right? And the lady behind me is like livid, losing it, super mad. I wish I remember all the words she was saying. I don't remember everything word per word, but she was really like going off like, oh, why are these people, those people doing this in our country? Why are they doing that? Why don't they blah, 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 blah. Oh, China, like why are, like blah, 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 that guy. And it's like so, just really losing it. And to be honest, I was not 100% happy with the dude myself either. I was like, dude, why are you cutting? And actually, I think he was cutting with his family too, actually, if I remember correctly. But anyway. But on the other hand, I was also thinking like, I wonder if that guy's doing it super unconsciously. Because in China, the lineups don't look the same as in Canada or the USA. The lineups oftentimes are more like blobs, sometimes. Depends on where you are, depends on where, right? But even like, I remember when I get on the subway in China, in Beijing, there's so many people that we just kind of blob together, like this huge packed bunch of sardines, like just no line, just everyone crammed together and like just trying to shove their way onto the platform. Like, I remember this. So like maybe, unconsciously, he was cutting the line, maybe. Or maybe here's another potential hypothetical situation. Maybe he was gonna miss his flight and he didn't speak like any English or like 3 words of English. So he's just like, I'm gonna catch my flight with my family. I don't wanna pay for the late fees. I'm just gonna cut the line. Maybe, I don't know, right? We don't know, and that's the thing. We just don't know. We just don't get it, right? And so this lady's like going off on these people, right? Just going off, getting really, really frustrated. And I was like, lady, calm down. Like, seriously? Calm down. I need you. I didn't tell her, but in my head I was like, I need you to try your best to like understand maybe what's going on in the guy's head. It doesn't make it right, by the way. It doesn't make cutting in line right. It doesn't excuse anything. All it does is for you, it lets some of that poison out. Because me, I was kind of upset with him. I was angry a little bit, but I was like, you know what, there's probably something that I'm not seeing right now. There's like, maybe it's a cultural background, maybe it's late. Like, at least I don't have that poison sitting in me. At least I'm going, well, that sucks. Maybe, I was thinking like, maybe should I tell someone? I was like, right? But at least it's like an feeling and not a feeling of like, what is wrong with you? At least it's not that kind of feeling, right? So, you know, stuff like that. It's those experiences that bother me. It's like, dude, it's like, go freaking see the world. Like, go like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, it's tough. Like, even like, here's another example. This is not a language example. This is just, I was talking to this guy a while back, and he's like, talking about how Canada's like going downhill, like we're so close to not being a really good country, and the wording was something to the effect of like, we're just behind the situation in the United States, and I was like, what? And he just didn't feel like Canada's a great place to live, and I was like, dude, like, have you been anywhere? Like, obviously nothing's perfect, obviously, but I would take Canada over Venezuela right now. Venezuela's situation is not good right now. It's just not. It's sad. Like, I hear about, like, the crazy, like, it makes me, like, want to, like, it literally makes me, like, want to, like, I don't know, guys. It literally, like, when I hear about the terrible crap that's happening, like, when you see a lot of the terrible crap, when you've traveled and you're, like, you see the poverty and you, like, it just makes you, like, for me, it almost makes you, like, in a lot of ways, if it would make a difference, I'd give all my money away. I just know it doesn't make the biggest difference. There's other ways I can make a difference. Like, the better way to make a difference is there's better ways. Like, I do give money, to build wells and charities and all that stuff. I just don't talk about it, but, you know, anyway, it breaks your heart. It really does, right? And then you're, like, complaining about Canada. You're like, what the hell, man? Like, seriously? There's issues. I get it. It's not perfect, but, like, things are good. Things are good here in Canada compared to a lot of places. Even a less extreme example, like in Peru where I was living for a short while, there's very good living conditions, very nice, like good standard of living, very good standard of living. But even little things like the Wi-Fi, the laptop needed to be in a specific place for the Wi-Fi to work. Just had to be that way. Had to stick the laptop in a specific spot. Had to be in specific spots, sometimes it wouldn't work. Or like the hot water was heated by the sun. So like certain times of the day, you can't have a hot shower. Or you only have a certain amount of hot water. You have to take the fast shower. Here I can leave the freaking water running forever and be hot not forever, but such a long time. Even the little things. It's not just the major things. So a lot of this, it stems with, it doesn't start with languages, it starts with understanding. Like that, I think it's understanding and trying to see the other person's perspective. That's where all this starts. But for me, language ends up being a gateway to do that. Language, that's where it starts. It allows me to, right? It allows me to fully travel to a country, integrate, understand, become that culture, understand, like really be like, oh, I get it. And so a lot of the negativity, or maybe I don't have that, I might have more empathy towards it, understanding towards it. And, you know, it's crazy to think that there's so many cultures and backgrounds I don't fully get yet, right? Like Russia, I know there's a lot of you watching from Russia now. I've never been to Russia. I know very little about Russia. I read your names in my comments and it's like, frick, I wish I could read your frickin' name. I wish I knew how to pronounce it. It bothers me that I have no cultural understanding with you. Like, it's so hard. It's hard, man. And I know that a lot of you have stereotypes about Americans and North America and Canadians, and we have negative stereotypes about you too, right? A lot of us do. And it just comes to the fact of, like, there's things I've heard about Russia that I don't actually know firsthand if they're true, or I don't understand where it comes from. I think, like, people, there's even a guy telling me recently, I think he watched the videos, I mean, he might even see this, I was talking to a follower on Skype, and he's like, Russians make bad travelers. They think they're the best, and blah, 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 blah. I would like to live in Russia for a while. I'd like to speak with them and see, like, where's that stem from? Where does that come from? Is it a misinterpretation? Are we perceiving it a certain way? Is it, I don't know. I don't know. And maybe that's not even true. Who the hell knows? I don't know. Right? So, like, I can't judge, and it's anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know. Yeah. I guess one thing is I want to understand Russian culture. I really do. Now, especially because a bunch of you are following me from Russia now. It's like, I want to get it. I want to understand. I really do. Especially because, like, it's funny, right? It's funny how media plays a role in all this too. Media, here's a fun fact. Like, when you look on the TVs and stuff, often the bad guy's a Russian dude. Not always, but sometimes the Russian dude's a bad guy. Crazy, right? Or like Arabs. Arabs are the bad guys in movies and stuff sometimes. Like, often, right? They're often the ones bombing. It's like, it paints this narrative, and it's like, why, guys? Like, why is, like... Anyway, this is a topic that's funny. This 13-minute video is just stuff that's been bottling up inside of me for, like, weeks now, and I just didn't know how to talk about it. I was like, I want to be able to... Because I normally articulate very clearly. I normally talk very clearly. I'm articulate. I know what I want to say. Like, it doesn't take me long to say it. Like, I'm clear. I know my language stuff cold. I know how you can learn. I know the strategies. I just know it. I know it inside and out. 10 freaking years of, like, 10 years of... More than 10 years. Like, I've had... I mean, 10 years since I've been really into languages. Plus, I have natural talent in it. It comes to me naturally. Like, anyway. No idea where this is going to go. Maybe I'll do, like, a weekly... unscripted chat like this about cultures and languages. I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, time to wrap it up. So thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Bye.